Welcome to the Big Ol' Bracket. Here, Jacob and I are joined by three friends to scream over fictitious matchups and have debates no one ever asked us to have.
You know, like Best Pompadour in Anime or Best Animated Kids Show between 1994 and 2005. Stuff that doesn't really matter in the long run, but hey, what else are we gonna do?
Once we determine a topic, we pick the competitors, match them up using our highly advanced randomization system.
An old bingo bag with the names written on a slip of paper.
Then we yell, argue, and insult each other until a winner is determined. Then we move on to the next round and do it all again.
When all's said and done, we have, in theory, the best example of whatever it is we're debating.
Will we still be friends when this is all over?
Let's
find out. And we're back.
This
All right.
episode is sponsored by Walmart.
That was a
I wish.
bleep that out.
All right. Here we go. Next round.
I saw that stealth part.
All right. We've got the Soul series,
Ooh boy.
which includes Bloodborne and the new Sekiro.
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 Or a Sekiro. I don't know how to
Jacob kept the first time he talked about it said Sicario, and I was like, that movie was okay. What are you talking about it for?
Shut up.
Versus.
Warcraft.
Warcraft.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Souls, no!
How do you feel, Steve?
While I really, really love the Soul series, Warcraft has done more for gaming than that.
Boom, Warcraft wins.
Like in not just
Fuck off,
and
all
that's,
of you.
that's not just World of Warcraft. That includes Warcraft 2
Yeah.
and 3,
1, 2, 3.
That's what I'm saying, the
World,
entire franchise.
all the expansions.
of which there are a million.
Bloodborne is so
I can't wait to fight about Warcraft later because there are
my God. Glad that you have
there
one
are
good
two
game.
game series
Dark
I'm gonna
Souls is
push
fucking incredible.
hard.
Are you
Dark Souls
serious?
1 is fantastic.
Dark Souls 1 is incredible.
Dark
I
Souls
didn't
1's
play 2.
fantastic.
Dark Souls 2 sucks. Dark Souls 3 is okay.
I like Dark Souls 3.
Uh,
I think it's different.
But
something-
Warcraft 3 and Warcraft 3 is still maybe the best strategy game ever made.
It's
Hot
still
take.
played. It came
and,
out in
and
2003.
World of Warcraft, it has its ups and downs, but there are specific points in time that you can go, that version of World of Warcraft was amazing. That version
Is
of World
there
of Warcraft was
in
amazing.
any MMORPG that is still played with the numbers of
No,
Warcraft that
not
has been
at all.
around this long?
Final Fantasy 11 is even dead.
Yeah, it,
Sort of.
It
No,
just
it's
14
Got-
only just
it's got a
recently
lot of good
surpassed.
players.
I mean, but not as much as World of
Warcraft.
Warcraft.
no,
in terms of
but
the people,
it's got
number
a
of people
solid
playing.
People were mad about World of Warcraft,
The
what
latest
they did
expansion.
with the latest expansion, so they're all going to 14 now.
But the thing is, World of Warcraft is probably never going to die.
Oh, no, it won't.
Ever.
Especially when Classic comes out.
My main thing
They're
about...
just starting over.
Well,
Yeah.
and to be fair, but in Final Fantasy 11's favor, if they hadn't made Final Fantasy 14, they might have just kept updating 11 and made it.
They
better.
updated 11 up until last year and
Yeah.
are still bringing
Yeah.
out raid content.
Yeah,
My thing about the Soul series is that...
one of them is good.
Well, okay.
Bloodborne
the game,
is
the
very
games
well
are good.
received.
Demon Souls is good too, but I feel like because of the success that Demon Souls and Dark Souls had, From Software just thought, hey, we need to only make those games now.
Yeah, and they did.
It killed Armored
it
Core.
killed
And let's
Core,
bring Armored
and-
Core back. From Software, do it. Bring it back.
If you're watching,
If you're
From
watching,
Software,
bring Armored Core back.
I mean, the Souls games are not games I personally would play and enjoy. It's not my kind of game, but I do fully respect how popular they are and what they're doing. For a long time, I think there were a lot of games that help people's hands, and it goes back, I think, to older, really old video games that didn't tell you jack shit. They just went, here's your controller, there's the start
that
screen.
Being said, I'm sick of Souls-likes. I feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
a lot of
exactly.
people.
I am
I
sick
feel
of-
like a
yeah.
lot of people look at the gameplay systems and emulate that instead of emulating
what
the
makes
game
Dark
was
Souls
doing.
good?
Yeah.
Which was
Well,
the atmosphere making you feel
here's the
awful and
thing.
powerless.
The atmosphere was good in the series, but I have an unpopular opinion, and I personally like the Dark Souls series, but I feel like Demon Souls, when it was first made, it was an accidentally good game.
Oh,
Oh,
absolutely.
Like,
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the only
A lot of
reason
that
that
was-
people ate it up was because of how hard it was.
Yes.
And I think it was mostly hard because the combat was balls.
No, yeah, I think
In the first one, absolutely.
The
Yeah.
game, the
The
game
in
was
Demon's
hard,
Souls, yes.
not because they were trying to make a difficult game that really pushed the players. It just didn't quite work.
Yeah.
I think
So it
once
made
they-
it really-
once they
Dark
switched over to Dark.
did it
is
on
that.
purpose.
Yes.
Dark Souls did it on purpose, and there's nothing wrong with having a happy accident.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's what Halo was.
Oh yeah,
Well, something I will say, and this goes to Warcraft's favor, is I think that accessibility is important. Like, there's a big thing going around right now. To date this video a little bit, there's a big debate with Sekiro. I don't know how to. Sekiro. Whatever.
Japanese Dark Souls.
Sicario.
Lucario.
Just
Lucario.
new Tenchu.
New baby Tenchu. There's a big debate going on right now of people wanting it to have an easy mode because like they want accessibility to be a thing, and people are getting upset about that, and it's like, oh well, why don't you just get better at the game? And it's like, well, because sometimes people
Conversely,
they physically cannot. If they have a disability, you can't play those games as as easily, right? Like,
conversely, one of your favorite games is God Hand.
no, I absolutely, and I can play that game.
But some people can't. Yeah.
Yes,
I've
I
been
would say
watching-
that is a flaw.
I've
with
been
it.
watching a series online right now about designing games with disabilities in mind, and it is crazy how many like big releases completely ignore the basic because there are actually basic guidelines set out to how the checkboxes you have to hit to make it accessible for people with disabilities, and a lot of high profile releases do not follow those guidelines.
Because they
And I'm not
they
saying
know they don't have
that
to.
everyone with a disability couldn't play Dark Souls. I've seen it.
So that's that. Sorry,
So,
Souls.
God.
I mean,
What's this
Warcraft
against
is just
again?
so Warcraft.
Oh yeah, Warcraft wins.
God, I just love Dark
Yeah,
Souls.
you were like,
so
oh man, I
much.
made some good arguments for Souls. Maybe I should vote. Oh, it was up against
Warcraft,
Warcraft.
no. So Warcraft wins.
Yeah, I think.
I will push this game through with every dying breath I have.
1, 2, 3.
Warcraft.
Hands up. All right.
I love Dark Souls and I love Bloodborne. I haven't finished Bloodborne because I'm scared of it right now.
Also, you don't finish things because you think if you don't finish them, they can go on forever.
Ooh,
Yes, also that.
All out.
That's not a call out. That's something I know about my personality.
When in reality, the end is just sooner and uninteresting.
What was yours?
Oh right, I picked first. Burnout.
Guilty Gear.
Guilty Gear for me. I don't have to really argue
I'm
that
having
much.
a hard time
I'm having a
remembering
harder
which
time-
one Guilty Gear is.
Guilty Gear is the one with the best fighting game character, Faust.
It's the one where
Wake
all the
up,
fighting,
you
all the
kids, it's
characters
time
are
for
named after
Faust.
metal things and like crazy anime characters.
Yeah, Brutal Legend.
There's the girl with the anchor, and then there's the guy with the lightning, and the girl that fights with her hair.
Okay, yeah, that is pretty fucking rad.
But Burnout had crash mode.
God, Burnout Revenge is some of the most fun I've had in a racing
Burnout
game
3
in my
is the
life.
most fun I've ever had with a racing game, and that's the T.
Burnout Paradise is the most fun I've had with racing games.
And you can set the soundtrack to only play "Girlfriend" by Avril Lavigne over and over, and that's pretty cool.
Wasn't
For
it
Scott specifically.
In Revenge specifically, that is the only thing that is left in that game's soundtrack.
Yes, that is
Is
the
it
only
really?
song. Yes.
Yeah, because all the others' copyrights came up.
Oh my god,
So they
that's
patched
amazing.
out every other song.
So it's
Except
only
for-
Girlfriend on repeat forever as long
all
as you
the
play that
time.
game.
Remember that time?
I might
Remember
be
that
wrong. I
week
might have to
where-
vote for Burnout because that's incredible.
I know we used to play Guilty Gear a lot in high school.
I love Guilty
yeah,
Gear
but
a lot.
Burnout's really, really good, so I'm kind of split on this one.
I'm
so-
thinking Burnout.
Because earlier I said that we played Marvel vs. Capcom 1 a lot in high school. The other game we played a ton was Guilty Gear.
But both games are.
I mean, Accent Core and Xrd are.
Both
Specifically, we
phenomenal.
played XX Reload, which is also just very good.
Basically, both of the franchises are. I don't want to say
They're
they're the epitome of their
No, I'll
genre.
say that. I think Burnout is the best arcade racing franchise,
I
and
still
I think
think
that
flat
Guilty
out,
Gear
so-
is the best anime fighter.
But I mean,
Anime Fighter.
Yeah,
I'm
not
glad
fighter.
I'm glad you specified.
Anime fighter.
We
well,
were
if
gonna
he,
have words.
if he was gonna say Guilty Gear's best fighter ever, some people might have some questions.
yeah, but I mean, as far as like that specific type of fighter goes, it's the
Yes.
best.
Yes, absolutely. It is. Well,
That and
Skullgirls.
Blaze
Is good, yes.
Skullgirls
is
is the
good
best
as
anime
well.
fighter.
Maybe, but also it's not a franchise.
That's true. So we don't have to worry about it right now.
I'm
and
honestly
then Fighters is pretty good, but
It's not a franchise yet.
yeah.
I'm siding with Guilty Gear. I think I'm leaning.
That's
more
what I'm
towards
going
that.
towards, yeah. I've had a lot more fun over my video gaming life with Guilty Gear than I have with Burnout.
I think Burnout
Same.
is my winner.
I think
personally.
Burnout is my
I
I
winner.
could never get anyone to play the crash mode with me, so I couldn't really enjoy it as much.
And more recent Burnout games took it out.
Which
but
does suck. I love the crash mode. That's the only reason I play Burnout.
The main reason I played
that's not the reason I
The
played
reason
Burnout.
I played Burnout is because I
The
wanted to
racing was dope.
smash people into the walls while
That's
listening to Franz
exactly
Ferdinand.
why I wanted to play.
And you can still do that while you're racing. It's just not the main mode.
And that's what I wanted.
Basically,
Then you
I'll
can
just
keep playing
go.
your
I'll
four.
go like I'll
The-
be okay either way. What happens on
Yeah, I'm not
and,
mad.
well, and I think the thing is that it's close for me, but I think what nudges Guilty Gear over for me is that series hasn't slowed down, whereas Burnout
That's very
looks
true.
like it's probably about done. It looks like
And that's because Need for Speed took over.
I would not be
unfortunately.
surprised if there was never another Burnout game, and that's a shame because Need for Speed isn't as good.
Yeah.
It's good. I like Need for Speed, especially the cops and
But it's
the
not
cops and
Burnout.
racers modes. Those are really fun, but it's not Burnout. And I think Burnout was definitely better.
So we're gonna vote.
Yeah.
Burnout. Raise your hand. Guilty Gear.
I'm surprised you didn't vote for Guilty Gear, Jacob.
I really like Burnout.
Same.
It's one of those that could have gone either way, really.
All right.
Ba-do-ba-do-bo-bo.
I hope I don't get Castlevania.
I hope you get Castlevania.
Mario Party.
God of War.
Okay,
God of
War.
If only for the last game, it
God,
just,
the last
it
game
just
is really
stomps on Mario
goddamn
Party's
good.
fucking
so
dick.
here's my issue: is I haven't played the most recent God of War, but
It stomps
I
on Mario
played
Party's
God of
dick.
War 1 again recently.
Does it hold up?
Not that recently, probably about 2 years ago.
Oh,
It
okay.
holds up
They're
pretty
still
well.
fun.
Sort of. So God of War 1 has a really... It tells a really great narrative, and it does a lot through its gameplay to further that
Yeah.
narrative, which was rare at the time. But
What did you play? You played on?
PS3.
Okay.
The PS3
The
version.
remake?
Yeah, and once also not a great HD version. They
No,
really,
it's not.
They really
No.
were lazy on that one.
No.
But the original God of War is not so fun to just play today. There's some great set pieces, but it feels really sluggish and old. I don't know exactly how to say that.
No, I know exactly what you mean. I mean,
Most
it's
most
not
of
as
those kind of games pre-Bayonetta don't hold up, just straight up.
well because we got things like Bayonetta that figured out how to do that and do it
Yeah.
extremely fluidly.
Yeah.
But at the time, like God of War was like the most fluid thing you could play like
absolutely.
that. It's one of those things where that
And it
game
was
would really benefit from a true HD remix that not just made it look a little better,
Because
but just smoothed out the mechanics.
There's some great narrative beats in that
Oh
game.
no,
There
it's
really are.
oh my, it's so good. I mean,
It was the first M-rated game I ever bought. The day I turned 17, I went to a local store and went to get God of War specifically. I'm like, what is the most fucked up, violent, messed up game I can buy? God of War. Let's do this.
And the thing is, I a couple years ago replayed God of War 3, and honestly, I had as much fun as I had the first time. I played the PS3 like re-release. I had
I never
equally as
played
much
3.
fun.
Is it good?
Yeah, I really like it.
I've heard
personally-
a couple of people recently tell me that it's the best one.
I really don't think there's much of a disparity between 1, 2, and 3, honestly. I think 3 might be the best of the original 3 just because they kind of really figured out how to do it. They went, okay, this is how this functions.
It's also the grossest.
But no, that actually. So,
Yes.
but what I said earlier is a detriment for God of War for me a little bit. Is I like weird, violent, gross stuff sometimes. But like, there were some moments in the first God of War. Granted, I played it when I was 17, so I was kind of way more squeamish back then. But there were some moments that I was like, I'm uncomfortable.
God of War 4. The new God of War
It's real
is one of the
good.
best video games I have ever played in my entire life. It is not near perfect. Like, I really don't have really any issues with it.
And I'm so scared to play it because the last time I heard this kind of praise was when
Was
Last of
Last
Us
of
came
Us.
out, and that game let me down so hard.
Hey, excuse me, princess.
Steve,
How
what do
you
you
like it?
think?
God of War kills Mario Party. I haven't beaten the new one yet. I'm about a quarter of the way through. But what I've played of it's amazing. I played through God of War 3. I love that one. Has one of the best opening sequences in any
Oh, yeah.
action game I can think of.
Well, and
And I didn't play the other two because I was too young when they came out. But
from what
Play 'em now.
From
I
what
don't really feel like
from
it.
what I understand,
Valid.
Fair.
You know.
The character has become someone different. He is not that
Anyway.
person anymore.
And
God
that's
of War
like
is
the
cool.
whole-
Let's move on.
From the little bit that I played of the first God of War, that's like, or the new God of War, that's the first like hour of the game is him, someone finding him and him going, I'm not that
I'm
person
not like
anymore.
that. That's not who I
Don't
am.
make me be that again.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's exactly it. Yeah.
Interesting.
But he still
it's
can.
really
No,
cool.
He has all of the capabilities to be that.
But he's just
And
like, don't make
Mario
me do it
Party,
again.
I had to play a 3-hour-long board game with some friends.
Yeah, remember that time that
I didn't have friends when I was a kid, so I played it with CPUs and my dad.
But not, but recently we had to play a 3-hour
Yeah,
board
yeah.
game.
It was
with
at
our
least 2
friends.
hours. Mario Party is a game that you get when the console releases and you play one time and go, put it in the closet.
It's bad. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Who's the next picker?
I'll pick.
I'll pick again too. I don't mind.
Oh, you don't mind being the picker?
I don't mind.
I don't mind
I
being
don't
the
mind.
chosen.
Reading
mind
it.
choosing the destiny of the games.
Alrighty. I got Elder Scrolls.
Versus Persona.
Oh,
Persona.
Oh, man.
Here, this is going to be unpopular. I don't really like the Elder Scrolls games. I
don't
never
think that's
have.
that- I don't think that's that
I
unpopular.
think 1 and 2 are laughably bad, and no one
Yes.
no one talks about them. Morrowind has some wonderful world building, but is not a playable game.
It is
Oblivion
great for its
is
time.
a
Oh,
playable
amazing.
game, but has terrible world building. And Skyrim
It's
is
the only really good game in
pretty
the
good,
series.
but has
No, I said the only
Skyrim's
one.
pretty good. Skyrim's pretty good, but if only one game in your franchise is pretty good,
Yeah.
that's a bad
I
franchise.
loved Oblivion, but I was also very stupid when I played
Oh
Oblivion.
yeah. that-
I was like, holy shit, there's so much to do.
I
and
saw
then-
Oblivion.
But it's all bad.
It was
I
it really
would
good?
rather
Yeah.
play the first Fable 100 times than ever play Oblivion again.
I'd rather
Oh,
play
is
Fable
Fable-
3.
Fable
than
doesn't-
play
Oh!
Oblivion again.
Oh
Fable came
man.
out- no.
Ooh,
Fable
Steve,
only
that
has
is some
3.
strong words.
Wait, what'd
I
you
would
say?
not play
I'd rather
Fable
play
3
Fable
again if you
3.
paid me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
no,
then the
so
other one.
Persona 1 sucks. I mean, there's no getting around it.
Yeah,
It's
no,
just
no,
bad.
no. It's
but
fine.
Persona 2, I only played the version on PS1, not the version on PSP.
I also played the PS.
Because it was actually 2 games, but one of
Yeah.
them didn't release here
Yeah.
except until it came on the PSP. Anyway, the one on PS1 was okay, but is like super duper dated and hard to play.
It's very dated. It's kind of hard.
And
yeah.
Persona 4 Golden, put that on a console.
Persona 4 Golden is one of the best games I've ever played, and Persona 4 was simply a 4 out of 5 for me. That's how much fucking better
And-
it is.
And
Oh
hilariously,
God. Persona 4 was my second favorite game.
I loved it.
Hilariously.
I loved it, but Golden is that much better.
I know, I
Golden
wanna
is
play it
that
really-
much
I want
better.
to play it really bad.
Persona has one of the best rhythm games out there.
Oh, Dancing All Night, yes. Dancing All Night, and this is for someone who loves rhythm games. I've played a lot of rhythm games, believe me. It almost won my game of the year that year.
Scott still has working DJ
And that was the
Hero
same year.
controllers.
That was the same year that had Metal Gear Solid 5 and Undertale, and it almost won my game of
God.
the year.
As we talked about before, games or companies that like are good with innovating, the people that make Persona will do anything.
Also,
they will shut. They will go.
back up a
Let's try
second.
it.
You said I have DJ Hero controllers, like that's weird. I have Beatmania controllers.
God.
Hold on. Don't you also have Disney Princess DDR pad?
No, I have High School Musical 3
That's
DDR
the
pad.
one. That's the one.
Incredible. I have a
also have
lot
Hannah
to say about
Montana
Persona
DDR.
that I'm gonna save
Yeah,
because
me
I
too.
know that I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
fight.
anyway, well, let's move on. We know Persona wins.
God, I love 3, 4, and 5.
What did Persona beat?
I love all of
Elder,
them.
Elder
Scrolls,
Scrolls.
good.
I even like 2. 2 is fun.
All right, here we go. Tony Hawk.
Ooh,
I have some things to say.
super mean.
Why didn't we pick Dave Mirra
It wasn't
Because
5
the third
games.
Dave Mirra game was terrible.
versus Crash Bandicoot?
Ooh.
Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk.
I
Hawk.
disagree
Tony
Why do
Hawk.
you disagree?
because
Because
No, the thing is, Tony Hawk. The Tony Hawk game.
no, there's some really good Tony Hawk.
for years I tried to find. No, don't encourage them.
Yeah, Tony Hawk wins.
I tried so hard to find this on LimeWire, and everybody said that Green Day played.
Not that you were pirating it.
Okay,
Not that I was pirating it at fucking 12 years old.
here's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I agree Tony Hawk is a better game series. It should go
Crash
through.
Bandicoot.
I personally like Crash Bandicoot more.
I
Crash-
also love
Even though there
Crash
are some really bad Crash
Tony
games.
Hawk made me a
Crash-
ska kid, which is a
Crash-
sin against humanity.
Crash Warped is great.
Crash
Warped is
an
amazing.
incredible
All the
game,
others
front to back.
vary from playable to mediocre. Crash Warped is one of the best PS1 games. I don't think any other game in the franchise is particularly remarkable.
I love 2. I love
2's
1.
okay.
I like them both. I mean, once we got to like PS2 and some of those games were just.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
it has
the-
Spyro.
Like,
Wrath of
it has the
Cortex-
Spyro.
But
syndrome.
I think it
I
did
love
fare a
that
little
game.
bit better than
after
Spyro.
after they
of
sold
Cor-
Crash to,
Yeah.
to the other
It
two.
was-
But I
was
think
okay.
Crash did fare a little bit better than Spyro on the
Yeah,
PS2.
Wrath
I
of
think
Cortex
Wrath of
is
Cortex and Twin
Yes.
Sanity were both fine games.
Yeah, but it did have the same thing where it like fell down and
And
Jack and Dexter and Ratchet and Clank took its place.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love Tony
And
Hawk
Sly
games.
Cooper.
I played
Oh, God,
I
wish
played
Cooper was
Tony
still
Hawk
around.
games
And-
out the ass.
And,
as a
and the
kid.
interesting thing about Tony Hawk is that you could love those games even if you didn't love skateboarding.
And no,
Yeah.
yeah, I wasn't a skateboarder.
I wasn't a
I
skater
didn't
kid.
skateboard.
I have never skateboarded in my whole life. But you know what? I have a love of skateboarding video games, and I bought Skate and Skate 2 and Skate 3 just because I was itching for more Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk made me want to be a professional skater.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Even
yeah,
though
that-
I
that-
had no idea what I was doing.
And
Tony Hawk
one
made me
is-
so
one is-
interested in that scene that I started following Jackass, which introduced
Yeah.
me to Viva La Bam, which introduced me to my entire idea of what comedy is.
And if you had never played Tony Hawk, you never would have watched Jackass 3, and you never would have seen someone hit a baseball with their penis.
yeah,
And
So
who
you
would
have seen a papers before.
who would Jacob be without that moment?
No.
Nobody.
I would
Dead.
It's dead in the gutter.
Dead in the gutter
thing
on
is,
fire.
The thing, what we do
No,
have,
but for real.
for the sake of argument, we do have to address Tony Hawk 1 was a rough start. Tony Hawk 2, 3, 4, Thug, and Thug 2 are all, in my opinion, really good games.
Yes.
Everything after that is not good, though.
Project 8 wasn't terrible.
But the fact
American
that you have to
Wasteland
say
and
wasn't
Project
terrible and not
Yeah.
it was really good.
Yeah, American
that
Wasteland
point,
and
I think-
Project 8 were starting to go downhill, and then after that, it was just bad.
Oh man, Ride was horrible.
Ride was bad.
man.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 is
I-
maybe the worst video game on current consoles.
I will give Ride some credit. It made for a very funny Giant Bomb video once.
Speedrun
the
for
speed
Tony
run-
Hawk is really fun.
Well, and
Yeah,
they're
absolutely.
varied too, because like I think if 4 and Thug 2 had kept the 2 and 3 system of like you have 2 minutes to do all this shit and that's the one gameplay mode, it would have kind of sucked after a while. But 4 and Thug 2 expanded on that and made that so much more open that it didn't get stale. It
They
never
also
got
the
stale
games
for
made you
such a long
feel
time.
fucking rad.
Yeah.
You felt like a fucking champion.
And-
When you could
I
string
do-
together those super long
And I do
combos.
Yes.
want to address that some people don't like Thug 2 because of all the Jackass shit in it.
Hello, butt nuggets.
it's part of the culture.
That's valid, but it's also fun.
But yeah, no. The thing is one, looking back, I think it is hilariously indicative of the time, and it's
Yes.
a weird thing
Oh,
to look
yeah.
back at. But two, when Thug 2 came out, I was 12 years old. I fucking loved Viva La Bam and Jackass.
Oh, yeah, I loved
I,
the shit
I
out of
bought
it.
that
That
game
said-
almost exclusively because of that shit.
That said, the reason that I didn't like Thug 2 as much is because I couldn't be on Bam's team.
Yeah, it should have let you pick Tony Hawk or Bam. It shouldn't have just been like, you suck, go hang out with Tony Hawk.
You're not
that's
cool
what it
enough for
was.
us.
Yeah, that was the story. But it was Bam's like, hey, you're a fucking loser. I don't want you on my team.
That's so funny.
And I was like, I can
I-
be cool. I've seen your show. I can paint all the fridge blue too.
Bring it on, bitch!
Anyway, let's move on. Tony Hawk wins.
Tony Hawk wins.
Tony Hawk wins, yes.
Haha. Boom.
I play Pot of Bracket. Do you know what it does?
Lets you draw
Let's-
2 new picks.
From my bag.
Prince
Your
of
bingo bag.
Persia.
Pop.
Versus Castlevania.
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 Are you fucking kidding me?
110%.
Prince of Persia has one good game cumulatively between all of them.
2 good games, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Hold on. But if it I heard Todd go, if it wasn't for
Look at
Prince
Scott's
of
face right now.
Persia,
Look into
we
him in the
couldn't
eyes.
have gotten Jake Gyllenhaal as the Prince of Persia.
Castlevania, let's move on.
I love Prince of Persia. It's a better Assassin's Creed, and they should go back to that series.
Yes,
because
they should.
Castlevania
The
is
thing
the
is,
better
the
series.
fir-
and has the better thing you can watch on Netflix.
Also, the first Prince
Yeah.
of Persia game is super cool. I mean, even looking like playing it again today, it does some really smart things.
Oh, yeah.
that cinematic platformers even after that didn't do.
The first
Like
Prince
there's a lot of really smart stuff, like especially how like if you're not quite lined up right with a jump, it'll kind of auto nudge you a little
Yes.
bit. And games that were trying to emulate Prince of Persia didn't realize that Prince of Persia
was-
did that for
yes.
so
Oh,
long,
really? They
and they
didn't
were
know.
unplayable messes because of it.
They were like, why isn't Prince of Persia that you can always make that jump, but you can't in this game? The game would just help you a little bit if you were just that like margin off, because it's not at that point. If it didn't help you with that, it'd be a platforming Dark Souls game.
Sands of Time desperately needs an ADHD remake.
Oh,
my
it'd be so
god.
good.
Because it's such a cool game that Jacob
I
was
just played
playing
through
it
it.
recently.
It's amazing.
And it's almost impossible to hear because the sound mixing is
The
so
sound
Oh,
mixing
it's
is
terrible.
It is
bad.
really bad. I remember not being able to hear voices.
Yeah, no, people are
The
talking
voices,
and there's
yeah.
music all the time going.
Well, the cutscenes are fine, but whenever it was in-engine voices, like
Yeah.
it was over.
Hot take though, the 360 Prince of Persia game was the best one.
It was very good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which one is
I
that
don't like that you.
It was the reboot.
I
Prince of
don't
Persia.
like that you could
Where you had,
literally.
like, the
gotcha,
weird-
the cel-shaded
Yeah,
I
yeah.
The
don't
one with,
like that you
Nolan
could-
North in it.
I don't
God,
like that
dude.
you could literally not die, and the ending pissed me right the fuck off.
But gameplay
the
will-
rest of that game was really
You
fantastic.
can't die?
You literally
Yeah,
can't
no, it
die
just
in that
it
game.
resets you.
That sucks such.
But it doesn't
big
like
fat
start
weed.
you off at a save. It's like if you fall off or get killed,
It
the
rewinds,
the
yeah.
lady goes and picks you up and puts you back on the thing.
But it does punish you, like if you have a certain amount of like deaths, like you don't get the cool achievement or something.
Yeah, you don't
Which,
get
I
that.
mean,
Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't
but-
get you don't get the full 1,000 gamers.
Yeah.
I do think that is a very interesting and valid way to like try and be like, okay, well, we don't necessarily need to punish them gameplay wise. Let's try and let's make a reason to go through this game without flaws, and they tried to use.
Well,
the achievement system
and
for
when
that.
achievements are
It
used,
just sucks that achievements
Yeah.
like were
and when
used the way
achievements
they
are
were for most
when
of the time.
achievements are used well, I mean,
They're super neat.
there are some games like people always be like, oh, you should never platinum or 100% achievements in a game, and I'm like, absolutely. Some games I've had more fun because I tried to platinum them or because I tried to get 100% in them. Resident Evil 5, for instance.
Let's move on.
So Prince of
Castlevania?
Persia wins. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about Castlevania at all? Or you want to save
I'll
all your
save it.
arguments?
We're gonna
Yeah,
save
save
Because
it.
I'm gonna fucking gush later.
Scott.
I love Castlevania.
For everyone that's wondering, Castlevania won.
Yes, Castlevania 1. You want me? You just picked. What is
Oh
it?
no.
Super Smash Brothers.
Oofa
Oofa
doofa.
against. You're gonna
Against
make
what?
me wait, Jacob.
Yep, we're making you wait.
Against what? I have to know. Put it in the pile. Keep taking.
Well, I like
Guitar
to
Hero,
fidget.
Super Smash
Super Smash
Brothers.
Brothers.
wins.
Let's move on. No,
The
straight up,
superior
everything
party
we
game.
needed to say about Guitar Hero, we already said about Rock Band. Let's move on.
It was a
Yeah.
mistake putting them both in here.
Hold on.
Smash Brothers.
Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Smash.
Smash
Oh my
Brothers.
god.
I
We'll
mean,
talk
yeah,
more
it
about
has
Primus.
to.
I also hadn't heard of Primus before.
Melee.
Yeah.
Melee.
Melee.
I was debating
Ooh,
saying
ooh.
Project M, but that's
Melee.
Melee.
You forget about Melee?
You
Ultimate.
just forget about Melee.
I liked 4 when I played it.
But
Looking
Melee.
back, I don't like it so much.
But Super Smash Brothers
64
Melee.
is amazing.
Smash
But
Brothers
Super
Melee.
Smash Brothers Melee.
Melee is the best balanced fighting game of all time. You can play all 6 characters, and they're just as good as each other.
We'll talk about
2,
that more.
3,
Smash
Smash Brothers.
Smash Brothers.
What's next? We got 2 more this
Smash Brothers.
this quarter.
Tony Hawk.
Oh, I'm excited. Steve, read yours first.
No, you drew
No,
first.
no,
You
he's
drew
got to read his first.
Professor Layton.
Resident Evil.
Resident
Resident
Evil.
Evil.
But
Damn.
Professor Layton is a really fun franchise. All of the games are
But
good.
not
It's
fun
very
enough
worth
to
going
beat
back and
Resident
forth.
Evil.
Never played them. Never
It's,
played them. They
it's-
look
They're
cute.
good. They're good. They're cheap. If you have a DS, go find them. They're a really good time. But
They're
they
cute.
are all
They're puzzle
4 out
games.
of 5s.
Yeah.
They're puzzle games.
Not a single game in the Professor
like-
Layton franchise is better than a 4 out of 5.
Fair
But
enough.
they're all 4 out of 5s, every single one of them. So take that for what you want.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Consistency.
legitimate. It's a consistent franchise that is super fun, does what it does really well, and has very interesting puzzles that doesn't make you feel bad when you have to use a hint.
Yep. Unlike Phoenix Wright, where I'm like banging my head against the wall, like, well, I know what you want me to do. Just what do you want? How do you want me to do
Which
it?
combination?
Just tell
I know
me.
he did it, and I know how he did it. What item do you want me to show you to convince you?
What'll have to rub against your face for you to say yes?
All right, but Resident Evil wins that
Yeah.
because Resident Evil 4
It-
is one of the best.
Resident Evil
Incredible.
4 alone would make it win
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're not even gonna fight more about that because
I have some stuff to
we
say
wanna
about Resident Evil 4
save
as
those
well.
for later. But Resident Evil 4 makes it win that category alone.
I would have sex with Resident Evil 4.